Hello, everyone. My name is Cara Romano, and I'm the Director of Product Marketing at Retail Solutions. I'd like to welcome you all to today's web seminar, a continuing part of RSI's community outreach. We appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedules to join us today and learn about Retail Execution Optimization, or REO as we call it. REO is an important process that is used to measure and drive the ROI associated with retail execution investments. The application delivers data about in-store activities to ensure that visits are focused on appropriate issues, that trade management is maximized, new product introductions are successful, and sales are frictionless. Our webinar will include an overview of the process as well as a demo and examples from successful implementations. Today's discussion will be led by Chris Cooper, who runs our REO business and is based out of our London office. Chris and his team work with RSI's REO customers to leverage alerting and analysis to help drive positive change for suppliers and brokers during in-store visits. Previously, Chris managed broker teams at Kraft Heinz, Diageo, Mars, and Colgate, and was in store management at Tesco, Walmart, and Aldi. While based in the UK, Chris splits his time between Liverpool and London. As with all of our events, one of our goals is to make sure that these sessions are as interactive as possible and to allow feedback from the audience throughout. So with that said, during the original airing of this webinar, there was a Q&A session with the audience, which we will be including in this recording. If you need additional assistance or have additional questions, including the slides themselves, please email Chris directly. His information is on the speaker slide, or sales@retailsolutions.com. Okay, it looks like we're ready to get started. So again, thanks for joining us. And Chris, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Cara. Retail Execution Optimization, or REO as you'll hear it referred to during this webinar, exists in order to measure and improve the ROI associated with retail execution investment. Specifically, REO measures the impact of in-store activities performed by third-party brokers, retail personnel, or supplier retail execution teams. This measurement process follows rigorous methodologies in order to provide the most accurate and relevant analysis of the effectiveness of retail execution investments. Walking through the slides you can see here, REO is designed to maximize in-store execution via data and improve ways of working. RSI arm the broker field team with accurate data, enabling them to take the right actions to fix in-store. Directing teams towards the biggest opportunities ensure trade spend is maximized in every single visit made by the broker or field team. An area of spend that historically could be confusing or unclear in terms of true ROI can now be visible through clear, directional and informative reporting with the ability to learn and reapply across the board. With all REO programs, RSI provide expertise via consultancy from a team of industry experts or with retailer, broker and data experience. Full visibility of performance and ROI is delivered through dashboard and deep dive reporting. The ultimate goal is to bring clarity and a clear vision for progression for both customer and field broker teams. REO is available as a tiered service tailored to the specific needs of the customer. The REO service is composed of combinations of components which we're going to explore in this webinar. The REO process begins by capturing every action made by the team in store, whether that's replacing the shelf tag, building the display, or increasing space on shelf. Each one of the interventions made is turned into insight. By taking each action described, RSI are then able to build a rich source of data, enabling the detailed process for understanding incremental sales benefits and return on investment. By applying RSI algorithms through the data processing process, we ensure a methodical, robust and accurate way of understanding the true value of each action in store. Add to this a vast amount of experience and knowledge from our team of experts. This now starts to build a very detailed view of the retail execution optimization world. The outputs from the initial analysis are what form the overall picture of performance. We have the ability to provide each salesperson with store product-specific alerts, directing them to the inherent availability issues requiring attention. Compliance reporting within REO helps the team in-store as well as the customer understand areas such as promotional compliance, new product performance and speed to scan, as well as things like the best or worst performing stores within a territory. These are really just a few examples of the extensive catalogue we have. One of the major key components to REO is the ability to measure team performance. We offer comprehensive, drillable reporting that enables the customer and the broker field team to understand salesperson performance at a very granular store, item, day, intervention level. Recommendation and the what to do next are a huge part of the REO offering. Based on the data analysis, RSI are able to structure your team's approach, from planning the right stores to visit and how often, right through to the actions to take against specific products and brands that drive value. Each program comprehensively equips your in-store team to succeed. In this next section, we're going to talk about mobile applications. Recent enhancements to the REO service see RSI move towards a mobile solution. The ability to bring all components of REO from alerting through to reporting in one easy-to-use, intuitive app are now reality and available to all. Creating a seamless process from field, broker intervention through to analysis and recommendation is fundamental to the significant benefits seen in using the RSI REO mobile application. Intervention capture is made simple, enabling every action taken to be taken quickly, avoiding long-winded admin processes and lost time in store. Instant input of interventions or actions mean RSI can take information instantaneously and start the analysis process faster with less manual input and a real reduction in click time. REO Mobile brings together a full suite of measurement and analytics all in one place, making it much more accessible and much more user-friendly than we've seen previously. Being able to push recommendations and next best actions to take in call is now also possible, a huge benefit to any broker or field team. Each salesperson will see at the store level the most effective actions to drive incremental sales instantly in a live store environment. The ability to plan calls on the fly or dynamically is now possible. Each salesperson can plan any store in the country at any time and have the data and analysis to support that store. We'll also tell you the best, most efficient way to get there. Now, as the application learns behaviors, trends and effectiveness, you as a customer start to build a rich and detailed data set for every store your field team visits in granular detail. For the next part of the webinar, we're going to move to a demonstration of the mobile application to really bring to life its capability, functionality, and ways that it can help you and your broker team in store. What you can see here is your planner. So this is the first screen that any broker or field team will see when they go into store. This is really where all of your stores that you call on are held. You have the ability to either pre-plan for the broker team, so fixed journey plans are possible here, and we will preload all of those stores for you to be able to pass to the broker to then make their journeys or visits for the day. Or you have the ability to add any store that we hold data for and put that into your journey plan, ready to go out into store and drive a difference for you, the customer. You can see in this example here, we have 6 activities planned for today. I, as a sales representative, have completed 2 so far, so I'm 33% the way through my day's calls. You can see listed below the stores that I need to call on today. So we've got 6 stores, as I say, in the process. And then as we move down the screen, we see the stores and their value that's highlighted in terms of lost sales opportunity. You can see we've got some big opportunities to investigate here. So we're going to, for the purposes of today, we're going to investigate this particular store with $450 worth of lost sales opportunity across the portfolio. As we start to move and start an activity, we have some data that are going to help the sales representative before they go into store form a picture of this store's performance and give them some real strong talking points to discuss with their main contact in store, whether that's store manager, department manager, or whoever can influence in this particular call. You'll see here we were able to surface data based on store performance. This section is completely customizable, and you can add in any relevant data that you require, anything that's relevant to you in terms of performance, or anything you would like to see for the broker field team to be able to use in store. For this example, we're looking at things like lost sales values year to date. We're looking at total sales for this particular store year on year. we're looking at total sales year to date by brand, broken down into the distinct brands for this customer. And then things like total sales by unit, individual item in the SKU portfolio. Lastly, we're looking at total lost sales by unit by individual item. So you can see a real mix of data that can be surfaced and used in store as a negotiation piece. So let's get into the call and start the activity and see how we can improve process flows and ways of working in store through mobile. Here you'll see your list of objectives for the day. This list again can be configured as you require to fit your process flow that already exists, or to change and update anything as you go through different promotional periods or activity periods. You can see the list of things that we need to focus on today. And we're going to start today's call by investigating the data and alerts that have been published by RSI. You'll see the first screen here is a question asking me if I can start the call. This will kickstart the timestamp and will start to measure the amount of time you're spending in store on an individual activity. So you can really then pull out data that says how efficient you're being in store, how long you're taking on certain activities, and how much more efficiency you could drive from future calls. All that information is in the background. Every store is geotagged, so you have some very compelling, comprehensive data about call completion. Okay, so let's get into fixing some of the data alerts in this particular call. Here you'll see the data alerts that are pushed in using the RSI algorithm to detect lost sales value. Along the bottom, you'll see the individual alerts that have been flagged for this store and require attention and investigation to fix. Ordinarily, in your customer version, you'd see a product pack shot to make it easily identifiable for the sales representative to investigate and fix against. You'll also have the product description, product codes, etc. to help with that process. Along the top, you see two options. You see the add option, which enables you to add any product in the SKU portfolio that we hold data for, and add it into your process flow to be able to then investigate and fix against it. This is any product that's not been flagged as an alert, but maybe an opportunity in store. So you walk past a gap on shelf, you see a display that you could build, you can add it here and investigate. You also have a scan barcode function, which enables you, using a smartphone or a tablet, to scan any individual product and investigate against it. You can also pull in supporting data for that individual product that we can then push into the mobile app and make available. Examples will be sales data for the last 14 days, lost sales value over a certain time period, or even stock on hand inventory data. Anything that you want to push into the mobile app as additional data, you can do that and use the scan barcode function to reveal that data. So let's fix an alert in this particular store and walk through the process of what needs to be done. Here you'll see when I hit this alert, the toolbar becomes live, and we can go and investigate this product using a very simple root cause analysis process. What we wanted to ensure was we reduced click time, but don't lose the functionality or ability to investigate and fix against data and alerts in any call. Again, the product logo or product pack shot will be here. So let's go and investigate. Is the product on shelf? We're going to say no for this particular one. What that will then do is it will put it into my warehouse back check. It wants me to finish everything on the shop floor first, so I'm still maintaining good process in store on the shop floor, and then go investigate the warehouse issues later when I've completed everything I need to complete. So let's hit another alert and follow the same process. So it's going to ask us again, is the product on shelf? We're going to say yes for this one. And then it's going to ask me for a root cause. So there's an alert being flagged, so an investigation needs to happen to go and fix the problem and retain sales back to normal and fix the issue that we've alerted against. So once we've investigated, we can capture a root cause. It was a shelf capacity issue in this instance, and we're going to say the fix was to increase capacities. We've done that, we've submitted it, we fixed the issue, and that goes to completed, and we can move on. So let's revisit the warehouse to see the process that's followed here. Again, the toolbar becomes live when I hit the alert, and we can walk through and investigate. It's going to ask me is the product in the warehouse. I'm going to say, no, I couldn't find it, but I did manage to fix the issue by looking on store systems, checking store inventory, and I was able to find a root cause fix. We're going to say it's a forecasting issue for this particular example. Hit submit. We ordered some stock to fix that forecasting issue, and that's my alert fixed. So a really simple process, a really simple reduced click time approach that helps the sales representative be very directive, very efficient in store, and be able to capture the data instantaneously to feedback and start that analysis process. Some of the other things that we include in the process flow in this example, not forgetting that it can be completely customized according to what you require, are things like check promotions, where we can investigate individual promotions and go through a process of capturing whether a promotion is available, whether it's live, or whether we had to implement it ourselves. So let's check half-price ice cream in this particular store. Let's follow the process. It's going to ask me, is the promotion running? We're going to say no. We haven't found it when we've walked into store. And it's going to put it in my opportunity basket, ready to come back when I've finished everything else that I need to do in this particular section. Let's check the gondola end promotion. We're going to say it's running. It's going to ask me to take a photograph. We'll take that photo and submit. Now, the real benefit of being able to submit photos here is the ability to push photos to any destination that you require. If you have a customer internal Facebook, Yammer, Chatter page, we can push photos to there, or we can push it to your own private photo cloud, and you can access at any time, access any individual photo by using either store number, product description, any hashtag that you've put against an activity. So you can pull any photo down anytime and have really simple access to it. Let's revisit the promotion that's been put in my opportunity basket. And for this particular example, I'm going to say the store manager in this instance actually refused to cite the promotion. I'm going to hit manager refused, submit. That's the promotion investigation. Now the instant feedback really comes into its own here, because straight away you can start to see how many promotions are compliant or non-compliant. For example, on day one, morning one of a promotion, all this information can be pushed back to you instantly, and you have a very quick, very clear snapshot of how well the promotion has started, and engage the individual retailer if promotion uplift isn't where it should be in terms of execution. So that instant data access becomes very valuable. A couple of the other examples that we can walk through are things like recording other sales generating actions. So anything that we see as an opportunity, again, I have the opportunities in this example to build a side cap. So I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to go and build the side cap, take the photo. Same process, available straight away, can be pushed to any destination that you require, and that's complete, and that's recorded as an extra sales generating action. Things like tactical questions, so where you have moving briefs and moving activities, or you want to capture specific information in store, can all be done through the mobile application, and just simply answer some questions. So this example, we're asking, is there a chiller by the door? How many facings of soft drinks are there? What type of chiller in store? And then complete the process. Again, can be completely configured, can be updated at any time. Any changes that are made to these tactical questions or this process flow are instantaneous and can be pushed to a field team straight away. So no lost time in terms of changing briefs and priorities in store. There's even the ability to add notes for the next call. So if we want to remember to speak to somebody, we can just capture that as a reminder for the next time I go into this store, or as a reminder to push to a person that may be covering this store because of holiday, because of vacation, because of sickness, whatever it might be. All the information is available by store, not by salesperson. And then once we've walked through that process, we can complete the store and we can move on. You'll see the report is submitted and it goes into the history of this store. So next time when I visit this store, all of the actions I've taken, all of the people I've spoken to, everything that happened in this call is available and can be used as a reference to the history. And this will take me back to my planner, and as you can see here, completed 3 stores. I'm halfway through my day, and I can carry on with the stores that are remaining. There is an additional benefit also to the mobile app, and that's the on-the-fly dynamic route planning capability, where we're able to offer the chance for a salesperson or anybody who's using the application to plan the store on the fly using the dynamic planning process and find the most efficient route based on mileage and opportunity and based on the exception reporting that we push into the mobile application. So some real nice functionality that helps that dynamic element of any call plan. The mobile application is also available to head office employees. It's not just a field broker team mobile application. So if anybody in a head office function wants to use the app to look at store performance, to visit stores and look at data, to feedback individual instances that they see in store, they have the capability to do that, and we make the mobile application available to all. Now, moving on to the core services within REO. Differentiating the elements of retail execution optimization. The second part of today's webinar will focus on the core services provided in REO. 3 elements we're about to walk through make up the fundamentals of the REO offering, allowing granular level analysis of performance, enabling you as the customer to understand the true return from your field broker investment. It's also worth noting here that there are a number of other reporting and analysis streams that are derived from the 3 core elements, however. For today's webinar, we'll focus on the core 3. The core 3 is made up of test versus control, top-down holistic identification of uplift and ROI, intervention analysis, bottom-up insights on the relationship between tasks and value, isolating what works and what doesn't. And finally, core file optimization, prioritization of tasks against their return value, maximizing field-level execution. So let's start with intervention analysis, the granular level measurement for every action in call. This is the monthly analysis of post-intervention sales uplift performance at the store, item, agent intervention level. And the purpose and outcomes of the intervention analysis are: 1, to understand the incremental sales benefit of every action in store. 2, granular data analysis at store, brand, item, day, and rep level. 3, to understand the actions that do and do not pay back. 4, to do more higher value actions, do less lower value actions. 5, understand the value of every display built as well as value saturation. 6, drive availability improvements through informed data-led action. And finally, 7, measure ROI across the entire field team. Now let's focus on the chart to the right-hand side. The number 1 represents an action being taken in this specific store on a specific day against a specific item by an individual sales representative. Number 2 highlights red bars indicating instances of lost sales value across the previous 14 days, where number 3 indicates where the individual salesperson took the action. In this example, they built an extra display. But the green bar indicated by the number 3 is a really important piece in this example. Number 4 highlights the sales trends in this specific store, the red line, in the pre and post measurement, and here we're looking for the impact of the action taken on incremental sales. Number 5 highlights sales trends in all other comparable stores, or the yellow line. And number 6 highlights the healthy gap between the two to demonstrate the effectiveness of the action taken. Every single action taken by a field or broker team generates an example like this one, with a mix of positive and negative stories. The positive helps build a comprehensive recommendation of the right action, item, store, combinations to take. The negatives or non-returning examples also help build a view of non-returning low-value actions that should be avoided in the future. Staying on the theme of intervention analysis, we now look at territory and agent performance, where we can overlay action with overall sales representative performance. The granular level that intervention analysis takes us to allows a very drillable, deep dive view of performance at the salesperson level. In this particular example, we see a breakdown of performance across a dedicated team. Capturing all actions taken across an ongoing period of time, we are able to understand the top performers, The people that are delivering a steady performance are the ones who require some support and focus from colleagues and team managers. Using this example, we have the ability to 1. Track the total incremental sales of the REO program, 2. Track the incremental sales by individual salesperson in the latest period, 3. Overlay targets by team and individual and track performance, 4. Highlight performance by individual salesperson, highlighting positive and negative performance, and finally 5. Capture every single action taken and measure performance overall versus the target. So let's think about the interventions that drive value. How do we get to a compelling picture of what is actually working in a store? So looking at the bottom-up insights on the relationship between tasks and value and isolating what works and what doesn't. A huge benefit of intervention analysis is the ability to understand exactly what the right or wrong actions are. The granular level of analysis accounts for every single action taken by the team in store, and as the program progresses, we start to build a very rich, comprehensive source of data. The example here shows a group of tasks completed by the field or broker team across a period of time. Each intervention type is recorded at the item level and builds a comprehensive view of the total number of interventions taken, the average monetary value per individual intervention, the total incremental sales delivered by that intervention. The example also shows the benefits of high-value actions specific to this team. Both the year-to-date and latest month benefit from the build display intervention are clear, as are the consistently low-returning, high-effort interventions like product packed out. Consistently over time, we have the ability and insight to understand by store, brand, item and intervention exactly what to do and what not to do to drive value at a very granular level. Now let's move to the other components of the REO core offering. Let's take a look at the additional measurement and optimization tools we have available. We're looking here at test versus control, the top-down holistic identification of uplift and ROI through test versus control methodology. Test versus control is the monthly analysis of sales uplift performance across all supplier products based on a test group of stores, where item-level interventions took place, versus a control group with no in-store activity. There is also the ability to run brand-level test versus control. Same methodology as the test versus control displayed here, but presented at your brand level. We also have the same at category, where we present your distinct categories and the overall test versus control benefit from the broker. The real key to REO test versus control is the process followed to ensure measurement accuracy. For each of the distinct TVC groups, a process is followed to ensure they remain robust, balanced, fair and accurate throughout the measurement. Some examples of how stores are balanced are based on size, ensuring that like-for-like stores in both groups are similar size. Geographic distribution, they have a good and representative spread geographically, avoiding irregular or erratic trading patterns caused by localized shopper habits. Format distribution, like-for-like retailer formats are used in the measurement comparison. And finally, trading history. Sales are comparable across both groups. They're just some of the examples that are used in the robust balancing methodology. The approach described not only happens when a new program is set up, but throughout each month and delivery of results. We follow the same strict check process to ensure robustness remains right throughout. The test versus control methodology measures each individual store performance, highlighting the overall sales uplift benefit of sending resource into those stores. Each individual store will have a frequency of visits at the start of the program, which can then in turn be measured for effectiveness. The example shows an REO program using test versus control measurements. For this customer, we track store performance where each store received 2 calls per week over a 12-month period. As the chart demonstrates, a portion of very high-value, high-returning stores are visible and seeing obvious benefits from calling twice per week, with the mid-range of stores showing an average incremental sales uplift of around $25,000 in this example. Now, we are then able to highlight the group of stores that start to not benefit from resource calling at this frequency, and decisions can be made on what point it starts to make sense not to call twice per week. This could lead to a reduction in frequency and even stores not being called on altogether as they are no longer effective. Moving now to the third of the three core elements of retail execution optimization, we now look at core routing file optimization, where we maximize the impact of the field and broker team from their core file. Key to a successful field broker program is the ability to understand the right store to call on at the right frequency, also sometimes whether an entire retailer is the right choice to call on at all. Call file optimization is a detailed and robust approach to understanding the optimum call plan for highest returns. Our approach to CFO follows a detailed, robust plan to understand 1. The right retailer, 2. The right stores, 3. The right frequency of calls, 4. The potential ROI from each individual store, and 5. The right number of people to deliver the plan. Our scenario planning process involves the tri-party as a whole. RSI will host a kick-off session to align objectives, requirements, and the who does what. The next step is to gather the data. RSI compile comprehensive breakdowns of store performance, overlying sales, availability, lost sales opportunity, and any known previous success from the field broker team. Over 1 to 2 sessions, RSI then bring the tri-party together to understand any nuances in call file, any local knowledge, team information, etc., to enable a completely rounded view before the optimization piece begins. RSI then optimize and fine-tune the data to produce scenarios for success and an overall recommendation of which retailers and stores to call on, how often, and actually by who. The rollout then sees the call file go live, with milestone tweaks happening at 3 and 6 months to ensure absolute optimum performance. Example findings for 4 retailers. Using this specific customer example, we can see the impact of call file optimization across the 4 retailers in scope. Using the approach detailed in the previous slide, RSI were able to build out a recommendation for the optimum call plan. The 4 retailers in scope also changes and updates to their plans, using sales, availability, lost sales, and team performance. Recommendations for change were then made. As you can see in the example, all but 1 retailer saw stores dropped. 2 retailers had stores added to their call mix. All retailers saw changes in call frequency, and all retailers saw additional headcount added. The chart demonstrates the positive impact of the changes when comparing year-on-year sales uplift. Overall performance improves by roughly 1.5%, a really great return from this process. Let's now take a look at reporting. A huge part of the REO offering is the report and recommendation delivered to you, the customer. Over the webinar so far, we've seen the tools and ways we analyze and measure performance. However, the fundamental part to any REO program is how we deliver detailed, informative, and useful results. Each REO program includes a comprehensive set of reports, data, and analysis delivered by our expert retail execution optimization team, all with vast retailer field and broker data expertise. Our standard reports include a monthly summary and roll-up of results, a category split performance highlighting which of your categories benefit from the field broker intervention, item-level granular analysis for every single product where an action is taken, store format analysis to highlight which individual stores are performing and which are the best or worst distinct formats to call on. Salesperson deep dive analysis helps you understand who's doing what, where, and how effectively. The intervention and action analysis helps you understand the mix of actions taken, the impact and the recommendation for future focus. Zero value analysis highlights which actions are consistently delivering no incremental sales benefit versus a comparison period. An interesting point to note here is typically the average zero value percentage at the start of any REO program is 80%. That's 80% of everything the team is doing in store is returning no incremental sales benefit. And finally, days of the week analysis helps understand where the team are most effective. Examples today have shown Tuesday through Thursday are the most effective for some specific categories and manufacturers. The analysis and data enables us to make these kind of decisions and reach this type of analysis. Continuing the theme of reporting, exec dashboard reporting is now available. Drillable, easy to access performance reporting, whether it's in snapshot or at a granular level. Additionally, the standard outputs of every REO program also come with exec-level dashboard and interactive drillable reporting. Using platforms that can adapt and interact with your needs, we're able to offer this type of reporting to all, whether it's broker, customer, or whoever needs to see this type of report. Now, The test of any good program is the case studies and value that have been added in previous relationships. So let's walk through a few examples to highlight where REO has been a real success. The 12-month program in this example not only demonstrates the impact of using intervention analysis and deep dive reporting, it also highlights the positive effect REO had on a key measurement criteria for the retailer and customer in question. Specifically, in this example, we asked the customer to validate the success of the REO program by measuring the impact on their overall OSA score across the called-on stores. The benefits and validated results come in two parts. Firstly, the pre- and post periods highlighted to the left show two distinct milestone periods of this particular REO program. The pre shows the impact of REO, where the program starts to mature as the team use the recommendation provided to test and learn different approaches in store. The reporting and analysis delivered help to start to shape the approach in every single call, focusing on the really high returning actions and away from the low value, low returning actions. Now, post shows where we take the first half of the program, understand in detail the consistent contributors to performance, optimize the call file and reset. We see the impact on the overall OSA score grow from its lowest point of 82% through to its highest of 91% when the data was caught. A very comprehensive, very robust recommendation of what to do in which stores at the right time to drive value. To the right of the chart, we see the 8 months of 2016, comparing the overall sales in the called-on stores versus the previous year. March presents a really interesting point in this measurement, where the team came off the road, refocused, realigned, and set back to work, implementing a new approach in store with obvious year-on-year improvement benefits. Let's take a look at a full 12-month program with all the reporting elements. This is where we see proven incremental sales benefit from a retail execution optimization program. The full view of a 12-month REO program not only highlights the benefits and impact of intervention analysis and recommendation, but we also see how the overlays of test versus control methodology complements the program, highlighting the top-down impact across all stores in scope. We see a very healthy $9 million in incremental sales delivered across the 12 months, with the obvious second half of the year improvement when we hit the 6-month milestone and evaluate overall performance, and where we refocus. Of the total $9 million incremental sales that we can see here, we note $6.5 million of this can be attributed to the intervention analysis and the work done in focusing on the right product action mixes to drive maximum value. Along the way, highlighting team performance, showing the good, bad, and indifferent across the board. A really comprehensive view of where an REO program has worked, using analysis, using recommendation, taking it on board and implementing it across the team. A great success story. So let's summarize what we've walked through today on the webinar. Shortly, we'll have the opportunity to answer some of the questions that have come through whilst we've been on this webinar, as well as take any further ones you may have. Before that, hopefully this has been a worthwhile and beneficial walkthrough of the REO offering, from mobile solutions all the way to understanding the true ROI of your investment. RSI offer a closed-loop solution to retail execution optimization. So, why RSI REO? Firstly, we'll build and recommend the optimum call plan. We'll show you where to go. Second, to support the value add and availability focus in store, we'll focus your team on the biggest issues and opportunities to fix, all driven by data and analysis. Next, we'll take every action taken in store, whether it's an intervention fix or an audit answer. We'll take it through mobile and we'll make it available instantaneously, really improving and reducing that click time. Next, all of the great work your field broker team does in store means an opportunity for RSI to analyze. Every single action will be measured for success and incremental sales benefit. We then offer you an impartial, true validation of your team performance, allowing you to make informed choices about the future and future investments. We can then take all of this and service it up through a mobile application that delivers functionality, intuitive, easy-to-use processes, adaptability with the ability to configure to your needs, instant feedback capture, and closed-loop reporting. So that brings us to the end of our Retail Execution Optimization webinar. Now I'm going to hand over back to Cara for questions.
Great. Thanks, Chris. We actually have had a lot of questions come in from the audience, so I'm just going to start to work through them, and we'll get through as many as we can in the time. And again, if anyone has additional questions, you can reach out to us after. So the first one is, how much input from the broker is required to actually run the analysis? What is the impact on the current processes in the store?
Sure. So with all of our REO programs, we try and minimize the amount of impact on the broker in terms of how much information they need to share with us. All we ask for is really 4 or 5 key elements or key data points to enable us to run the analysis. Things like item, intervention, store date, and sales representative data points are all that are required for us to run the analysis. So real minimal impact where possible.
Okay, that's great. There's a few quick questions, just some basic technology questions. So is the app compatible with iOS and Android?
Absolutely. iOS, Android, and Windows as well.
Okay. And are you able to work offline on the mobile app?
You are. So that's one of the really neat features about the mobile app. You can literally work a full day offline and not lose any functionality or impact from the application. So a really nice feature.
Okay, great. There's some other questions about brokers versus, obvious benefits to the customer. So how does this benefit a broker, and how do you really work with the brokers when using this kind of application?
Yeah, it's a really great question, and one we get for both broker and customer a lot. There is a misconception that the analysis and the data that we provide through REO is used in a negative way against the broker, but in actual fact, we're able to support and drive further success and higher returns for the broker by using this data. We build a really comprehensive set of analysis and recommendation that we give to the individual broker to enable them to drive change in store and really deliver in every single visit. So it's a real tri-party operation that we run across our REO programs.
Right, so not just win-win, but win-win-win. Perfect. Question about customization. So can you customize the mobile app itself?
You can, absolutely, and one of the things that we've tried to do is be able to give not only a really competitive product in the marketplace, but also give the benefit to the customer and the broker to make it feel like their own. So things like branding in terms of customer logos, process flows within the application, to map how the broker works and operates around a store call are all possible. So yeah, we'll look at every individual case on its own and build and work with the broker to get it to a place where it's absolutely what they need to go out and succeed in store.
Okay. There's a question coming in about results. So what's kind of the typical time frame before you start to see results of an initiative? And then what are the typical results? What are some of the returns in terms of uplift? What really happens here?
Yeah, sure. That's another good question. So we tend to say that we would need a minimum 12 weeks to start to build a rich data set to enable us to give some compelling recommendation. Our ideal milestone is 6 months. So once we get to that 6-month mark in any REO program, we have a real kind of consistent, statistically strong set of data that we can build the recommendation and start to really drive change across how the broker operates in store. So that real 6-month milestone is the key for us.
Okay, those results are pretty impressive. Is management part of the reporting loop? What does the management reporting look like, and do they use executive dashboards?
Yeah, so one of the really kind of strong features of our entire REO program is the reporting that comes out to the end of the analysis. So we will build things like exec dashboards, monthly reporting, monthly consultation as part of the REO program. So it's all within that kind of offering. We're starting to move to some really nice interactive, drillable Tableau and Power BI reporting too. So we've got a really nice set of reports that are accessible to the broker, to the customer, to really get that feel for consistent performance over any program that we run.
And then how often do you see reporting and do you see the results?
Yeah, typically we report every at the end of every month. So we'll sit down and have a face-to-face reporting session with the customer and the broker. So we'll deliver them every month, but we also deliver weekly reporting as well across a program. So it really depends on what you as the customer requires, and what we also do is fit in with reporting cycles and requirements internally in any customer's business as well. So it's a really nice kind of consistent fit.
Right, flexible. Okay. Last question is about how the application is actually packaged. So are the REO products available individually, or do you need to buy them all together as a package?
No, so historically we would sell them as a kind of complete package, but now a kind of new part of our REO program going into this year is you can buy them as individual line items almost. So you can either buy our silver, gold, or platinum packages, and they'll consist of different kind of reporting and analysis. But you also have the opportunity to then bolt on different products and services that we offer within the REO program. So really flexible, and it really plays to the one size doesn't fit all approach. We want to be flexible for each individual customer's needs. So with this structure in the offering, we can hopefully do that.
Right, absolutely. REO is really an important process that can make the best of those retail execution investments. So definitely a lot of different ways to approach the solution and approach the problem itself. So thank you. I want to thank our audience as well for listening in today. And again, if you have any questions or if you'd like a copy of the slides, please reach out to Chris directly, or you can email sales@retailsolutions.com. We hope to see you online again soon. Have a great day.